Generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas, 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Yes, it is. It is. What's today? Today's Thursday. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, Jason's in the studio this morning as co-host. Jason, I just want to take a moment really quick to announce that I am filling in, obviously, for Dr. V. Dr. V is out today, but he will be back next Thursday. And so today we are going to be talking, obviously, a little bit about COVID-19 and how that affects, literally from a health perspective, we're really, and traveling, we're kind of wanting to give our perspectives. We're not doctors. Dr. V's not here, so we can't give a medical statements here today, but we're going to give some perspectives. Yeah. So let me, I want to start off real quick. I wanted to do a quick prayer for our country, and then I'm going to turn it over to Jason. I just want to take a moment, and hopefully all you viewers and listeners will be in agreement. This is a personal thing for Cachet that I want to do. And I would just want to first start off by saying, Ephesians 6:11, I put the whole armor of God around our country, and I open it up with that, and I say that whatever this is going on, whether it's something that is out of our control, whether it was something that started with an animal, wherever it came from, I pray and ask that God protect our country and to find a way to either eradicate this or to find or a cure, and to show that through all of the evil that's in our country that goes on, that He has the bigger power, and that through this it will actually bring people closer to Him, and it will change our country for the better. And that's what I ask that this does. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi.
Hi. No.
Hey,
a little bit lighter.
First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us at our new time. This 12 o'clock spot is new for us, and we're going to be, filling it for the next
forever. And Dr. B.
I'll be here. Yeah, it's Dr. B. We're missing him today. He's got his family at Disney today. And one of the things when we were talking about that last week, we said, travel is really going to be affected by this thing. And I have a friend that's a very well-respected and very accomplished travel agent, and just knows her way around the globe. And I wanted to bring her in today to kind of join in on our talk about travel and, what we can expect going forward this next couple weeks, couple months, in the 6-month period from now. And that's Jen Brown, and that's Jen Brown with Vagabond Travel.
Welcome, Jen. Welcome to the studio. How does it feel to be in the hot seat?
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
I'm sorry. He's co-hosting now. I mean, he's going to put pressure on you harder than I would. So you'll be fine.
I'm thrilled to be here. I mean, this is obviously on the forefront of everyone's mind right now, and so I think it's a good topic to talk about because it is affecting not only everyone on a smaller scale, but globally. So I'm really excited to be here to discuss this. So thank y'all.
Yeah, no problem. We were talking when you walked in. We were just kind of catching up, and one of the things that you mentioned that I absolutely see is that this is something that's changing daily. Yeah. When we first talked about this a couple of days ago, it was like, it's not that big a deal. We don't have any reason to be scared. It's overblown, and how fast things can change.
Right, and even, it started with Paris being on lockdown, and then Italy as an entire country, and then last night the president announcing that there would be no incoming from Europe for non-residents.
Right.
And so, that was today or last night, and then this morning we're already having new changes and new developments. And so as a travel advisor, we're trying to stay up to date as much as we possibly can, but we're getting updates as fast as the general public is. And so we are just trying to stay ahead of it and just trying to stay educated as a travel advisor industry as a whole. So, yeah.
Well, good. So I know one thing that I kind of mentioned earlier with you is that, a lot of folks are probably sitting at home, not doing a whole lot right now and wishing they were somewhere else. I wish I was sitting on it. If I'm going to have the flu, I'd much rather do it on the beach in Cabo than do it here, right?
Yeah.
So, and we don't generally make those plans at the drop of a hat and take off and go. We usually, and I know when I've worked with you before, I've given you months and months of advance. And so I kind of want to talk about, is this a good time to book travel, and if so, where are good places to go? Where are good places to kind of get away from the stress that we're seeing here?
Well, and you had mentioned Cabo. Mexico is actually, at this time, as far as the tourist areas, have no contracted cases or any type of cases that have been found. So, for instance, I had somebody yesterday reach out and say, hey, we want to go in April. And so I booked them to go in April. And so it is still a good time to travel. One thing you do want to do is just be careful and make sure that you're taking all the precautions that have been coming out. You want to clean your tray on the airline. You want to make sure that you've got hand sanitizer. You want to make sure that you're washing your hands. All of those things that we're hearing about constantly. But we can't live in fear. And those that already have trips booked, I want you to really decide, or I want to encourage you to take them or decide if your destination is still a good place to go, because it probably is, and life is as usual in many of those countries and destinations. But for now, we talked about Tahiti when I came in. Tahiti has some really strict incoming parameters. You have to have a 5-day health certificate, at least 5 days in advance, a health certificate before you can even come on the islands in Tahiti. And so that includes Bora Bora, Lataha, any of those types of islands. And so, I just want to encourage people to just do your due diligence before you cancel, because when you cancel, we may not be able to get your room back, and your flights may be spiked in terms of pricing at that point. So just do your due diligence for sure.
And I think one thing people are probably a little weirded out about is, and I know my wife and I had talked about it, if we leave the country, can we come back?
Getting back.
It's not that you can't get there. I think they'll pretty much let you go anywhere.
Right.
But can we come back? And I think as citizens, I don't think we have to worry about coming back, but we can
right
worry
now,
about getting quarantined in some places.
Absolutely, right now. And there are certain cities that if you are coming from a destination that may have a severe case of corona, or COVID, you've got to fly into those certain destinations. Houston is not one of them at this time, and so we need to keep that in mind. But, that is one thing that I'm hearing a lot of is, what if we go to Jamaica? Can we get back?
Right.
Or are you Jamaican now?
And right now, the answer is yes, you can.
Right.
But that could change tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it sure can. And at the rate that this thing is growing, and I know when I first heard about it, it was probably January, and at the time this is a Chinese thing.
Right.
This is definitely a Chinese thing. We don't have to worry about it.
Right.
And then it turned into, okay, it's moved out a little bit, but it's only old people, right? It's only, if you're not over 80 years old, you don't need to be concerned about it, right? And now we're seeing that that's not exactly the truth either. So as it spreads, what we're seeing is every 4 days this thing multiplies.
Right.
So, and I heard a guy explain it yesterday, and I thought it was really interesting. He said, going from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 is not that big a deal, right? That doesn't seem like a lot of growth, but when you're going from 1,000 to 2,000 to 4,000 to 8,000, wherever my math goes from there. I don't have any more. I can only count by 45s, right? We see the progression of how fast this is actually going, and from what they're telling us now from, the government, they're saying, this is something that's going to affect probably 1 out of 3 of us, across the board as citizens. So just know that we're not taking it lightly. I know we're going to have fun today and just try and distract people from the reality of how serious it is, but we know how serious it is, and protect yourself. Do the smart things that you should be doing anyways. Those of you who are just now starting to wash your hands, what were you waiting for?
Yeah.
What were you waiting for?
Yeah.
True.
No,
Right?
and I think the other point y'all bring out is, there are what I was reading again. What I was reading are there's 7 different versions, right? 5 being more common, 2 being more severe. So at the end of the day, back to your point, you fear not, right? And I put the spiritual aspect on it because I truly believe that when you're in a situation like this and you don't know, right, you have to trust in God and know that we have to live our lives. We have to continue. If it is what they say and it is in the air and it's on the desk, it doesn't matter where I go. It doesn't matter if I'm on a plane. It doesn't matter. I've got to live. I've got to trust and believe in faith that He is going to carry us. And as a country and as individuals, we don't know the truth. You just brought out a great point. They've told us all kind of things. Either they know, they don't know. So we as individuals, just like we do with our health and anything that we do, have to take it by our own selves and make that decision.
Yeah, and so the things that you can do personally to really, aid the whole community is just be conscious about spreading germs. Wash your hands more than usual. Use soap. Wash up to your wrists. Wash for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Hell, wash for 20 minutes. If you go to the gym like I did this
Take
morning,
baths, shower,
Right?
there was,
make sure you clean up.
yeah, there was. So I go out to Gold's Gym in Magnolia off 1488,
Which is
out
a
there.
great gym, by the way.
Which is
We
great.
love Gold's
We do.
Gym.
We love our
Christy
Gold's
and
Gym.
Brian, one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my home gym. I go to all the gyms in town at some point or another.
Of
But
course.
that's my place I go. And I'm used to at 9:30, 10 o'clock seeing
Yeah.
a packed gym.
How
The
many
class
people
in
were
there, there's 40 women in there
Yeah.
doing downward dog. Today there were 4. And I know it's spring break, and I know that people have other things going on, and but I can tell you if you're staying at home, or if you're not, if you do go out, be conscious of what you're touching and what you're bringing back, and just be conscious of just spreading germs, and really do your part to clean up after yourself, and don't get in people's space too often. Just try and keep a little distance and be a good human. That's what I'm trying to.
No, I
trying to say.
totally agree.
And
yeah.
I think that's the main thing is if you do go to the gym or you go to the grocery store or you don't go to the grocery store and you interact with your Instacart person that comes,
Yeah, but did you see
give
that
them
they've
a little
added like a new
space.
feature that they will just drop it at your door?
Yeah.
Because of the COVID.
Because of COVID-19.
Yeah.
And
Well, a lot
Yeah.
of things have happened. They've canceled the rodeo. I think the NBA is no longer having. So all these.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the question is, look at our stock market. Look at our country. People, wake up. What is it really doing? And
Yeah.
what do we really need to be thinking about? How much control do we want over us? At the end of the day, we've learned, right,
Yeah.
that no matter what they tell you, you have to take control of your own health and your own
Right.
life.
That's exactly
and that's
right.
the answer. So we're going to take a quick commercial,
Yeah,
right?
let's
Or
go.
are we, Jason, I don't know. You tell me.
No, hey, let's go to commercial.
Okay.
It's Today with Cachet, Thursday.
It's health. It's
It's
health.
on- it's
We're
on-
still working on the name.
We've got a good one, and we'll probably float it out there this week. If you have ideas, send them our way. But Dr. Villarreal came up with an awesome idea, so I think y'all will love it. But let's go to commercial.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Turn on your glam today.
91.1
The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Woodlands Prime Lending, offering business loan programs for all types of endeavors. Need a startup loan, equipment financing, or even a business line of credit? Woodlands Prime Lending offers a variety of commercial loans to help you get funded when you need it. Call 713-900-7170 or visit us on our website at woodlandsprimelending.com to schedule an appointment today. Getting a loan is easy with Woodlands Prime Lending.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it. Because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Hey, welcome back to Today with Cachet. Again, Dr. V's out today. So myself, I've got Cachet and Jen Brown from Vagabond Travel. And
We're here.
am I saying that right?
We're here.
Vega Blonde.
Vagabond?
It's Vega
Vega
Blonde.
Blonde.
How did you come up with that name? I want to talk about that
Yeah.
real quick. I liked it. I saw that. Can we?
Yeah.
Sorry,
well, obviously,
Jason.
I am a blonde, right?
Yeah,
So
I saw that,
there's
yeah.
the play on that. But vagabond, the word means to be an adventurer and a traveler,
Yeah,
like a wanderlust spirit.
So cool.
And so when I was early on in my career, for travel, I worked with a company called Vagabond towels. They're no longer around, but they were round towels that I thought were just really cute. And so
Okay.
I just thought, like, I've got to create something that's cute and catchy, and
it's perfect.
and I've got
And
a
they're not
team.
using it anymore, so
Yeah.
I'm going to take it.
mad at you.
Exactly, and they're I have a team of agents, and no, we're not all blonde, and
Okay.
I have
Can
men.
I get a spot? Can I get a spot? No.
I have men that work on the team as well. So
Oh, cool. That's cool.
yeah.
I was curious. But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Vega
it's fun.
Blonde.
So one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about, and I'm sure other people are probably tired of hearing the news right now, but let's talk about what are some good travel options right now. Like, where are some of the places that? I know you do a lot of weddings, you do a lot of couples trips and things like that. Where are some of the places right now that maybe would be a good time to start booking those things?
Yeah, and I still have a lot of clients that are being active in booking. The other day, I had booked a couple to go down to Bora Bora. They're leaving in August. They're not living in fear. They believe that within a few months that this is really going to kind of die down, and they're going to be able to take that trip. But I think that's a great location, and so that is kind of one of those bucket list places. I think that people are like, Bora Bora.
Sounds awesome.
It is a fantastic destination. I went in December myself, and I think because of their proactiveness early on, that it's a great location to look into. But I also think, anywhere that's really not like Italy or China right now
Yes.
is a good place.
I tell you what, there's some cheap flights to China right now, kids. Jump on those.
Yeah,
Don't do
yeah.
that. So
He's joking.
I know she went to Bora Bora. She said that. I like how she said that. I was in Bora Bora in December. Where did you go? in Bora Bora? Tell us about
Okay.
the
Talk
about that
resorts.
trip.
I actually did some island hopping. So
How
I
nice.
started at Taha, which is a small island off of not Rangiroa. It'll come to me. But I went to La Taha, and I stayed in my first over-the-water bungalow.
Come on.
Uh,
How did you
it
get
was-
off of there?
It was
How did you
everything
leave?
I
Well,
ever imagined.
I can only imagine.
There was probably a line of Instagram girls waiting for her spot, saying, "Hurry up! I need my pictures."
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Anyway.
So we started there, and it's one of the most beautiful little islands ever. And everything is just, it's so close together, but you've got little puddle jumpers that you're taking around. After there, we went to Maria. Maria is a really active place. place.
Okay.
Talking about wellness travel too, it's a great place that if you want to jump on ATVs, you want to get a little bit more adventurous, that's a great destination. And then I went to Tahiti, the main island, where Papeete, which is the capital of the country, went there, really got to see a little bit of like what makes Tahiti and the history. There's a lot of history there. And then we finished it off in Bora Bora, which is absolutely iconic and one of my favorite places I've ever been to now.
Wow.
So it's definitely, I know if you've got it on your bucket list, it's one of those that you start traveling soon to it. It's just absolutely amazing.
So I know that there's probably a range of cost associated with some of those places.
Yeah.
What are going to be some of the more value ones, and then what are going to be the ones that kind of tip the scale on the higher end that maybe give you a lot more luxury?
Yeah. So Mexico is always a great option, and I say that because it's an hour-and-a-half flight from Houston. I mean, you can't beat that. And so Mexico right now, is having their own preventative measures. When I left, I was there last week. When I left, they made sure that I hadn't been to one of the infected countries. They put a little green sticker on my passport, and I went about my day. But Mexico would be a great option, and that's going to be a little bit more cost effective. Whether you're going to Cabo, Puerto Vallarta, or to Riviera Maya, all great options. You can find a trip for under $2,000 right now, going in April. So it's available.
That's awesome.
And then on the higher end, more luxury, you're probably going to look at anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 for an over-the-water bungalow in Tahiti. Now, if you don't want an over-the-water bungalow and you want to stay on land,
how could you not want that?
Everyone
How
wants
could you
that.
I
not
know.
want
And
that?
not like if you're going there, you really need an over-the-water
You
bungalow.
have to.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
But there are other rooms on land
Okay.
for a little
Okay.
bit more budget, so it is available and it is
Okay.
out there.
Yeah.
Good. How long of a flight was that one over there?
So from LAX, it's 8 hours.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of flying from Houston to Hawaii, which is 8 hours. And it's not bad at all. I mean, you're in a gorgeous Air Tahiti Nui has a gorgeous plane. The windows are actually bigger than your custom plane, and they've got the windows that have like the darker shades, and so you can put your tint on it. I mean, it's excellent. When you get on, you feel like you're already in Tahiti.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I could definitely go for that. It's been too long since I've been on vacation.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I don't know.
Okay, well, I guess you'll have to
When
book it.
was your last one?
Yeah.
It was Dominican.
And
that one didn't go so well.
It did not.
Oh,
It
did it
not
not?
go so
What
well.
happened?
No.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, it's okay. So we'll dig into it a little bit without getting too
obviously.
personal.
Can't
So
say.
we go to a resort, and my wife has celiac, so we
Okay.
do gluten free.
Oh, food.
And she was exposed to, and I'm not going to name the resort. That's just it
Anyway,
doesn't
she
matter.
was
But
exposed
anyway,
to some food that she wasn't supposed to.
she was sick the entire time we were there.
Oh, God.
And I spent a lot of time on the beach just kind of hanging out by myself, reading a book, and it was beautiful, and I wasn't sick, and but
So
she was.
that's the memory. You got to do another.
Wasn't great.
You gotta
we hadn't really gone on another one since, but I think it's time.
Well, and I've been back
It's
to
time.
Dominican twice since then. I went to the same resort, and then I went to the resort next door to it, and both had a really good, good time. Food was okay for me, so we have to understand that it can happen to anybody.
It can, and to be clear, I'd been to that resort before,
Okay.
2 years before, and it was perfectly fine. She didn't get sick at all.
So anything can happen, right?
So it can happen, but it's just one of those times. And then they took care of us on the back end of it. So they really, But yes, it
What
is
about
time.
other places like people are saying, hey, I just necessarily want to go here. Still in the States, nice trips. You can take a week here, a week there. What would you suggest? Or even Canada's and places like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Alaska, Canada. If you're wanting to stay even closer locally, our agency specializes in international travel. We do include Alaska and Hawaii in that.
Love Alaska.
But
Yeah,
if
great place.
you're wanting to do something a little bit different, like Alaska, there's a cruise called
So
Uncruise.
nice,
I know
Alaska.
that right now they're like, don't cruise. Uncruise has only like 50 people on board. And so you can bet before you get on, they're going to make sure that
screening
everyone
everybody.
is screening. Yeah. And you've got a little bit more intimate type of vacation. And that one is you are right there in the action. You are like next to the whales. I mean,
Oh, yes.
they're not far in the
Sounds
distance.
awesome.
You
Loved
are
Alaska.
next to them.
My experience,
That
I have to
sounds
share
awesome.
with y'all. I did Alaska a few years back. We drove it all the way up there, and we spent 3 months in Alaska, and we toured all around.
Wow.
That's
Of course,
awesome.
on the ferries, we just had the big van, and so we would take it on there. But I will tell anybody to see a glacier and then to see it break and turn, and then to turn into a water stream and then to see the salmon spawn and then a bear pick it up. And you got to go to Alaska.
I got to do that.
Yeah.
You got to go to Alaska.
I got to see the bears.
So I mean, if you want a place to go right now, go to Alaska. There's probably nothing there,
Right?
Right, other than beauty and wonderful. So you got you would love Alaska. You should do that.
And get in touch with nature
It is so
and just get
beautiful.
away
It's one of my
from the
favorite
noise
trips.
that we're hearing from the news and the media.
The beauty is amazing.
Unplugging is not a terrible idea.
Right?
For I know it just passed last week. There was the National Day of getting on. What do they call it?
Was there?
Yeah.
Where you unplugged?
Yeah, it was an unplugged day
I didn't
where it
hear
was
about it.
from like one night to the next. You were supposed to be like
probably didn't
device
do it.
free.
I didn't see it.
I don't think-
I didn't unplug.
I don't think anybody did. But
Other than when I was sleeping,
But I think it's a great idea, especially with how much is going on out there right now and how overwhelming it could be.
Yeah.
And I can speak to that. So last week I was in Mexico. I was there for my birthday and for a destination wedding.
Happy belated.
Thank you. And I came back to a lot of the chaos with people asking questions, and I was like, I'm sorry, I've been in a bubble. Let me get caught up. But it was nice because I wasn't hearing all of the noise. And so unplugging like that is probably good for our soul right now.
Great point you bring up. I mean, you look at the TV, you can't. You got to turn that stuff off.
Right.
Because to your point, you've been told a million different things. Which is true, right? You got to make your own truth at some point.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that disappoints me is I'm not going to be allowed to play in the NBA this week. They've canceled all of our games.
Oh, darn.
I will not be shooting baskets for the Rockets this week.
We'll miss
you
you.
never told me you were on the team.
We'll miss
I never
I
noticed.
wasn't at all.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not now either.
You definitely are
I'm
now.
definitely not now.
Yeah.
So
and no fans will be there to watch you
there
either.
goes that dream. I saw a thing the other day, it was yesterday, and the guy said, why don't we just have one fan for each team?
Yeah.
You don't need all the fans, you just need one.
Like a witness for a marriage
just
or
one.
something.
Imagine how, as a player, you're playing in this quiet arena, there's no people, but there's one guy. And he's like, that was a terrible shot.
I know, I was just
you would
about to
hear it
say.
every time. It would be, I think it'd be the greatest thing ever. So
That's great.
That's what I'm
That's
voting
crazy.
for.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we can either, what do you think, take a commercial, come back and talk about, obviously there's some symptoms, there's some things people need to look for, and we can talk a little bit more about that when we get back. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll get into the health aspects and of what you can do and what you can really be on the lookout for with your family members, your kids, your parents, whatever that may be, and we'll dig into that a little bit when we get back.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your fusion radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Turn on your glam today. The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein Lip Gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene,
Mangia
mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Cupcakes and Bubbles,
91.1
located
FM.
at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Come to a Cinco de Mayo Fiesta on Saturday, May 2nd, 2020, starting at 2 p.m. at Heritage Place Park, 500 Collins Street, Conroe, Texas, 77301. Enjoy music, food, folkloric dancers, vendors, and entertainment for children. Learn about numerous nonprofit organizations that serve the public. Register to vote, meet candidates, and hear keynote speakers. Sponsored by the Montgomery County Democratic Party.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Woodlands Prime Lending, offering business loan programs for all types of endeavors. Need a startup loan, equipment financing, or even a business line of credit? Woodlands Prime Lending offers a variety of commercial loans to help you get funded when you need it. Call 713-900-7170 or visit us on our website at woodlandsprimelending.com to schedule an appointment today. Getting a loan is easy with Woodlands Prime Lending.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Hey, welcome back to Today with Cachet. It's Thursday, and we're talking about COVID-19, talking about travel, kind of how, what some things we can do to protect ourselves, our families. I think that's kind of what we're going to dive into. And one thing I think that everyone is concerned with, and it's not, I don't think it's a selfish thing at all, is that most people are concerned about their own health at this time. Like, do I need to worry? Do I need to be doing something else to protect myself and my family? And that's not a selfish thing at all. So yeah, should you be concerned? I think 1 out of 3 Americans right now is pegged to end up getting this virus. I mean, so I wouldn't worry about being concerned. Be proactive and being healthy and doing as much as you can to boost your immune system before you're exposed to it, right? Because as of right now, the people that really need to be concerned are people that have a couple of things going on in their life, whether it's having autoimmune suppression. I think if you're somebody that knows you have issues with autoimmune disorders or any type of illness where you have to worry about having the flu normally or worry about getting pneumonia normally, this is something you should be definitely concerned about and limit your exposure to big public areas. If you can not go to the grocery store and use Instacart, do it. If you can not go to the gym and stay home and ride a bike outside, do that. Whatever it may be, find ways to avoid large crowded places if you know that you're in that group that has the suppressed immune capability. Also, if you are over 55, it may be something where you do need to, again, avoid those situations. And it could be very simple things, just really changing your daily routine to avoid busy traffic areas and really try and do as many things you can on your own. And you're going to have to work as a community to really help people. And I saw a really nice story about a woman who was walking into a grocery store, and an old couple was sitting in a car, and the woman cracked her window and said, "Ma'am, my husband and I have been sitting out here for a long time.
Oh my God.
We need some things from the grocery store, and we're too scared to go in." And I hear that kind of thing, and I think that's probably not real. But say it is, and there's a good chance it is real.
Yeah, it probably
and
is.
you think about the people around you. Think about your neighbors. I know where we live, most of our neighbors are quite a bit older than us. And I even thought, I could go around and leave a note on each door saying, hey, if you don't want to get out in these areas, I can go.
Yeah.
I may not go at the busiest time of day, but I can still go and really help those around you, and if you need me to go. I'm going to give
you my grocery list.
Yeah.
Can you go run my errands, do my stuff? I mean, now that you're doing it, put our name on the list, Jennifer.
I know.
There's things you can do, and just start, it's a good time.
No, that's a very good point.
It's a really good time to think about those around you. Think about the people that are in those situations where they are, and a lot of people would think, okay, I look like a healthy person. I'm a pretty healthy guy.
Right.
You know, my blood work is great. I don't generally worry about getting sick, and it doesn't happen very often. But yeah, I can go into Gold's Gym like I did today, but I have to almost decontaminate before I come home because
Right.
my wife has a suppressed immune system. So it's not the fact that I need to worry about being sick, it's that I need to be concerned about
Others.
who
Passing it on.
who am I bringing those germs and putting them in contact with, because there's people around me in my very immediate family that have to worry about that. And I think we should all be mindful of that. You know, if you've got if you've got that situation, really do your best to wash and really not spread any germs as much as possible. Some other things that really people that need to worry, people that are obese. That's something that is definitely or smoking. Those are two things I think that if those are two things that are a part of your life, you need to be very careful about your exposure to this virus and some of the things that you need to look for as far as symptoms. So what are those? We've got a little list here. This is from the CDC. If you're sneezing, I think my cat has COVID.
I know, I was going to say, like...
He's been wandering around the house sneezing.
I sneezed twice
For a week.
yesterday,
I
and
was
I was
joking
like,
with my sister. We were like, did you cough? Did you sneeze?
Yeah.
What'd you...
Yeah. You see somebody sneeze, put them in the closet. Shut the door. You stay in there until you stop sneezing.
That's great.
That one, runny nose. I know right now there's enough pollen to choke an elephant everywhere.
right. So
it's awful.
So how do we know?
How do we know?
How do we know?
That's
You know,
great.
but sneezing, runny nose. The big one I think is
great.
fatigue. If you just for whatever reason, I'm more tired than usual.
Okay.
I generally have a good energy level until 5-6 o'clock, and then I start to get tired. But for whatever reason, now I can't even get out of bed. I know with the time change, a lot of people have a hard time adjusting this last week of getting up on time. A lot of people guilty of sleeping in that extra hour, hitting the snooze button more than usual this last week. If that doesn't get better, if you continue to just be overly fatigued, that may be it. And that a lot of that comes muscle soreness as well, that type of fatigue. If you're like, man, my body just aches and I'm tired and I can't quite get over it, that's something you need to be looking out for. Coughing, along with sneezing, same thing. This virus in particular lives in the mouth and the throat. It's got
mucus almost.
yeah,
Respiratory,
so the coughing spreads
Okay.
this particular virus really fast because it is airborne. It's not something you have to even touch. You can just breathe it in.
Which goes back to your point, right? Like, how do you restrict yourself? If it's everywhere, then there's no way you stop
Right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they said that the guy in Montgomery was at the cook-off.
Well, was he somewhere else too, though?
But they
Where-
said he had
yeah.
no prior travel before that. So yeah,
But he
it's
could have
probably
been
just
walking
in
down
the
the
air.
street in
Right.
Montgomery County and
Probably
got it.
just in
And
the
so,
air.
and I don't want to go down there. Okay,
Yeah,
let's stop.
yeah.
Let's stop. I was about to go down a path. Let me stop.
We're not trying to scare
Yeah.
people by any means.
Yeah.
We're just trying to let people know this is the reality of it, and this is what we're dealing with right now. And how do you really take steps to improve your community
Right.
and keep our community as safe as possible? And it's
And
about
that goes
not
back
being
to
selfish.
economics too. Like
Yeah.
as we are kind of sheltering
That's
ourselves,
the point I was
we're
getting
then
at.
hurting the businesses that
Sure.
are out
Yeah.
there. And so I think it's important that we still
Mm-hmm.
go about your day. Don't live in fear. Just be smart about how you do it.
Yeah.
Like I told you guys at the Mexican restaurant last night, I mean, it was just a ghost town in there. And I just feel for those people
Yeah, it's like-
because that's their livelihood and they're
That's right.
used to having, a full house. And so I just consider that too, because on the economic side, everything is down right now. because of
Everything. It's
this.
crazy.
All these Woodlands
Yeah.
is great for having a lot of social things to do. There's lots of
Yeah.
think about all the restaurants, all the bars, all the exhibits, all the
Right.
things that we go to, and there's people that work at those that are really going to be struggling through this
yeah.
as participation in going out to restaurants, going to movies, whatever it is goes down. So be mindful of that, and if you have a chance to do so, order
Support them or Uber Eats.
yeah,
or
Uber Eats,
something
order
like
out from the
that.
restaurants.
Yeah.
Keep those
Yeah.
people working.
Yeah.
I understand, yes, we all need to be healthy and make a lot of our own food and this and that, but don't avoid our local businesses if you can
Right.
help it. You really support them however you can, and I think that's a really good point.
Speaking of that, Jen, tell us a little bit about where Vagabond is and what people are interested in. Kind of, hello, get going, get on a trip.
And how do we find you?
How do we find you? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I am on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And then we have a website, vagablondetravel.com. We actually have a contact page where you can input all of your information if you are interested in booking a trip right now. It's vagabondtravel.com/trip inquiry, and there you can choose who you want to work with. You can choose your budget, you can choose your destination, and then that'll give us the first step into working together with each other. And so, yeah, we would love to work with you guys, whether it's a trip around the corner. Again, like I said, some great deals happening right now, or if maybe you're looking for a trip in a year. We do specialize in groups and destination weddings, and so if someone just got a new ring, we'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
New rock.
So got a new rock, we'd be happy to help with that.
Yeah, this would be a crazy time to plan a wedding right now, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd be a time where you could get whatever you wanted at the wedding.
Sure.
For whatever
I know.
price you want, whatever venue you want.
And I'll say this, I haven't had any of our destination weddings cancel. I even just booked another one for 2021.
Well, I doubt she's
So-
going to cancel.
I hope
No,
not.
COVID-19's going to stop me.
No,
I hope
no.
not. I hope not. But it is happening. Unfortunately,
I'm
it is
sure.
happening.
I'm just, we're happy.
So we're being, as advisors, we're being diligent and just trying to make sure that we can work with our suppliers, we can work with the hotels, and that's the other thing about flexibility.
Right.
So there are a lot of change fees and waivers and things like that that are being offered now, or the change fees are being done away with and waived. So, if you are interested in traveling, just be flexible because a lot of the flights are also being canceled. So you may have a flight to Jamaica, but there may be a second flight after that, and they try to combine them. That may happen. So be flexible in your travel plans if you are wanting to travel, within the next month or so, because we don't know. It's a very gray, unknown area for us too. Things change by the minute.
Sure. And on the
Being
flip side,
being
go
flexible
ahead.
in travel is hard.
Why?
It is.
Why?
My previous
Why,
job, I
Jason?
traveled a ton.
Yeah.
I think I had 120, nights on the road last year.
Wow.
A lot of flights, 2-3 flights a week. And when somebody tells you, you know what, this flight isn't leaving, you got to stick around for a couple more hours, or you got to spend the night again. Try not to be angry with those people. And that's one thing that
Or your agent.
I would get so angry, but
We
you
got a
can't
call,
direct.
maybe.
Yeah,
We
you
may have
can't
a call
direct
coming
it
in.
at that person because there's not a whole lot they can do about it. You know, so really try and just put your big point pants on, and and
In other
be
words,
understanding.
don't freak out. Like
Don't
now,
freak out,
this is
yeah.
not the time to go, well, why are you canceling my flight? Why
Yep.
is this happening?
And
Yeah,
like she said,
yeah.
the hotels, the airlines, those places are being very flexible, and they will work with you, I'm sure. So don't not travel because
They're
you're worried
trying.
about that kind of stuff. Yeah, they really are doing a good job. What are some of the other things that we need to look for, or what are some of the other things that you can do?
Well, I mean, for example, let's kind of go on the other side. So we've been talking about don't be fearful,
Right.
but what happens if someone knows they have it?
Yeah.
Now, those people, we don't want you traveling. We don't want you
So-
on our plane, and we don't want you in the grocery store.
So-
So what are we going to tell those people?
So for the two of
We're
you,
going to throw you in a closet.
listen closely. The two of you in Montgomery County that have this
Oh my
confirmed,
God! Yes.
both
yes.
of you,
Yes.
stay home.
Stay home.
Stay home.
But there's probably about 200 of you that have it
Yeah.
and don't even know it because
Right.
you
Exactly.
haven't been tested.
Right.
But don't just go flipping and go get tested because that will there's not that many
Right.
test case.
Exactly.
kits.
So those of you that have, elective procedures, for instance, I don't know who on this show would get elective procedures, but
Very good. You?
no, yeah,
You? What are you getting?
I was going to get some of this done.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to
Really?
get Botox?
No, I was going to get my boobs done.
Anyway, okay.
Anyways.
He's being silly. Go ahead.
No, if you've got elective procedures, maybe think about rescheduling them. And the reason I say that is not because I don't want you to look great. It's really not. It's because
no
anytime you do go in for surgery, you are putting yourself at risk of contracting a lot of different things. And anytime you do that, you're also going to put your immune system at a disadvantage as well. And there's no reason to do that to yourself intentionally if you can wait this thing out and do it at a
mindful,
later.
right, of
Yeah, just
yourself.
be mindful of that. Make sure that if it is something you feel like you may have come in contact with and you're starting to see symptoms, don't be scared to speak up. Don't be scared to get checked
good
out.
point.
It's better to know and then think that it's not what it is. I'm all sweaty and coughing and sneezing and my cat.
My
is
eye's
sneezing.
falling out, but I'm going to act like it's not.
Yeah, don't ignore it. Don't ignore
That's
the
great.
symptoms.
That's great.
It really, if you really feel like you may have been exposed, if you've been traveling and you just got back from Seattle and you are having symptoms, go get checked out.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of that. Do what's right for the community. And a lot of people that have gotten this, when they're being interviewed
Quarantine
about,
or whatever, yeah.
what's it like to have it?
What
Well,
do they
there's a
say?
full range
Yeah.
of responses, and you have some people who are like, it's just a sore throat.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. And then you have other people that die from it. And everybody's got an individual response to every virus that's out there. Some people can get flu A, be over it in a couple days,
Right.
and they're fine. This is kind of the same thing. It just depends on the person. It depends on the health of the person and their genetic makeup.
Such a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
people die of pneumonia.
That's right.
People die of bronchitis. I mean,
Yeah.
they died of all kinds of things. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
with most
yeah.
viruses aren't the thing that kills you. It's the thing that weakens you enough to where a bacterial
Bingo.
infection
Bingo.
kills
Right.
you.
Something else kills you,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And
I mean, I had flu A, and within 24 hours, I was cleaning the house the next morning.
Yeah.
Because my system was able to
Pop it
bounce
out,
back
yeah.
that quickly.
Yeah,
So-
this one is a little bit different than none of us have antibodies for it, and so
True.
if you do get exposed to it, chances are you'll catch it, and that's really the biggest difference right now. So if you do feel like you've been exposed and you have those things, like you have those risk factors, go ahead and get checked out. Okay.
All right.
How do we do today?
Well, I think we're going to take a commercial.
Yeah.
Because we need to. And
We have some great sponsors,
and
by the way.
and we want to show them. So we'll be right back.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene,
Mangia
mangia
italiano.
italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Turn on your glam today.
91.1
The Jenna
FM.
Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein Lip Gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Woodlands Prime Lending, offering business loan programs for all types of endeavors. Need a startup loan, equipment financing, or even a business line of credit? Woodlands Prime Lending offers a variety of commercial loans to help you get funded when you need it. Call 713-900-7170 or visit us on our website at woodlandsprimelending.com to schedule an appointment today. Getting a loan is easy with Woodlands Prime Lending.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Hey, welcome back to Today with Cachet. I'm Jason, here with Cachet, here with Jen from Vega Blonde Travel.
Yeah,
I got it right that time.
Got it.
We are
All right,
here.
so we're gonna change direction here a little bit. We've been talking about COVID-19 all morning and travel a little bit. I want to talk about, hey, I've made the decision to travel. You know, I'm over it. I'm out of here. I'm gone. How do we travel in a healthy way? As a fitness guy, as a health guy, how do I go and take 5
Or
days?
like Jen, I've
and-
eaten healthy all.
Yeah.
I'm ready for
How
the
do I do
bathing
this?
suit. I'm bikini
Right.
ready,
Right.
but I don't want to put 10 pounds on.
Right.
How do I do this?
Well, and there's a lot of places that have impeccable gyms.
Yeah.
But then, like for example, Fairmont Orchid in Hawaii, they even offer you shoes, so you don't even have to bring your shoes
you mean
when
running
you work
shoes?
out. Yep.
Okay.
They offer you shoes.
Love it.
Nice.
Like, I mean, they give you just anything that you might need while
Love
you're
that.
there.
Love
So,
that.
because they understand that people live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so I love that.
That's
and
awesome.
That's a big selling point.
it really is.
So,
Yeah.
so me as a customer of yours, I know that's always something that I ask about. What can I do when I'm there? Like,
Yeah.
what's the gym like? What are some of the activities
Yeah.
involved? So maybe my next trip might be Costa Rica, which is what I'm
I
thinking.
love Costa
You know,
Rica.
if I were to call you and say, "Hey, look, I kind of want to go to Costa Rica. It's
Yeah.
always been on my bucket
Yeah.
list." But you know me. You know what I'm into. Yeah. So, where in Costa Rica
Great
would be a good?
So we may not even put you on the coast in Costa
Woo,
Rica.
look
We
at
may
Jen.
go to Arnall area, Arnall Volcano, hot springs,
yeah.
perfect for wellness. The spa there at Tabacan Thermal Spa is incredible. And while you're staying there, I mean, they've really got just a sense of health and wellness in general. But to be able to sit in the natural hot springs that
Yeah.
flow down from the volcano and to be able to soak in those, I mean, that's therapeutic as it is.
I'm sure.
But you know, on the other side of it, you're able to, you know, hike, and you're able to La Fortuna waterfall. It's 500 and something steps down and 500 and something steps up, and to be able to hike that and then swim in the natural springs down there, I mean, perfect for a morning. Or you could end it with ATV riding, also active. I mean, yes, you're riding something, but it's actually it works your
It's
core
hard.
when you're
Yeah.
on there, and
Oh my
because
God,
you're
yeah.
going through the jungle. It's
Right.
not just riding it on the beach. So there's a lot of destinations that have that. And then you always talk about finding a good gym. One of my favorite gyms is Hyatt Zilara, Cancun. Their gym. You would think it was like Gold's Gym. The amount of squat racks, the amount of bench presses, like it's incredible. And so
Yeah.
some of these resorts really put a lot of effort and money into these gyms. My favorite is actually the Hyatt Ziva Zilara in Cap Cana. I just went in January and it blew me out of the water. I felt like I was in a warehouse. And they've got kickboxing, they've got
Oh, wow.
a spin studio. I mean, it's incredible.
And if you've ever been to Cap Cana, they also have the most beautiful beaches
They really do.
in the Caribbean. They're
White sand,
unbelievable.
water you can just look through. It's
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I gotta go.
That is the one part of
itching now to get.
You
Yeah.
can walk so far out into the ocean, and it's just peaceful and clean, and
Yeah.
it's really.
Let me ask one.
awesome.
Where would you say for a couple resort wellness? Jason, spa.
She's
Yeah.
talking my language. I love this.
Yeah, spa. Like
Well, so there's actually a great resort in Cabo that they
Okay.
do a wellness retreat twice a year, and they bring in their own yoga instructors, and I say own, but they're instructors from the U.S., and they bring in a nutritionist, and their food there, they actually have a Michelin star chef, and so you're getting a good quality
love that.
type of food when
Yeah.
you're staying at Grand Velas in Cabo. Same with Grand Velas in Riviera Maya. They also have one wellness retreat a year, and so those are two great options to look into because you kind of get the best of both worlds. You're still able to eat healthy after working so hard to get in that bikini, and then you can maintain it while you're there and be active. And then their spas are just out of this world.
okay, cool.
So the coach of me wants to jump in here and talk about, okay, you're on your way, you get there, you land, you get to the resort. How much work do I need to do
Yeah, to
when I'm
stay.
there to stay where I'm at
Yeah.
least? And when our clients, when they come to us and say, okay, I've got to go to Cancun for 5 days, I don't want to blow what I've been working on. I want to have fun, but at the same time, I don't want to blow it. How do I do that? So my first response is always, look, that's 5 days of 365 out of a year. If you're doing the right thing 360 of those
That's
days,
not
and
gonna
then
hurt
you
you.
spend 5 days.
Yeah, it
You
should.
did it right.
Yeah.
We know, don't we, Jennifer?
It's
I know.
If you
it's
didn't
the-
eat, you're in trouble.
It's the people that are the other way around, where they act like they're at Cabo 360
Yeah,
days a year,
exactly.
and they work out those 5 indiscriminate days of the year.
Right.
That doesn't work.
When you starve for those 10 days and then go, you're going to go. Poof.
You can't get in shape in 5 days, nor can you get out of shape in 5 days. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
But one thing you can do to mitigate that bloat and kind of look after the first couple days of really imbibing and taking
Because
in all
you're
the
gonna be
great
drinking
food
and all that,
right.
yeah, is get up and move. Get up and move every day. You get up, plan an hour of doing something. It doesn't have to be the hardest workout you've
Right.
ever had.
Do a walk.
But go play
Maybe.
volleyball on the
Yeah.
beach. Go for a long walk every morning. Walk as far as you can see on the beach and then walk back. Just be active at least for about an hour every day, and then spend the rest of the time relaxing. And you know, hey, look, I'm not just. You don't have that guilt that comes with just
Right.
sitting by the pool, taking all the fruity drinks one after another, and just hammering them and eating nachos and whatever else. You earned it. I worked really hard the other 360 days a year, right? And
Not nachos, I eat tuna, okay?
I
All
eat
day
tuna.
long, I
Hey,
eat tuna.
that-
Okay?
and you can make choices. If I'm going to eat seafood, I'd much rather have somebody else make it for me.
Sure.
Because I don't make it at all, and it's terrible if I try. But if I'm somewhere where I know they do it well, which
Right.
all the places you mentioned, I'm
Oh
sure
my God,
can
with
do
the
amazing.
apple-
Choose it. Choose those things. Choose seafood. Choose the fruit and veggies
Yeah.
and seafood. And if you want to have a dessert afterward, great. But you know what? The bulk of that you chose correctly.
Well, and
you
I've
know?
been a client of yours, and I remember even sending the menus to
Yeah.
you in advance
Oh,
and
wow.
saying, here are the menus
I
of all
like
the
that.
restaurants.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just circle what I'm allowed to
Smart.
eat.
Yeah.
Because, that's really
Prepare
helpful.
ahead of
Just,
time.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just gotta, not plan to
Yeah,
fail.
we'll toot our horn on that one. Yeah, that is something we do with all of our clients if you do travel, because we have a lot of corporate clients that spend a
Sure.
lot of time bouncing between locations, and they need to know, okay, when I land in San Francisco, where can I eat?
Yeah.
Or when I land in Pittsburgh, where can I eat? Okay, so we get on Yelp and we find you a place to go. We go on their menu, we pick out their things on their menu, and we say, okay, order this when you get there, and you'll be fine.
And you want to tell everybody again, like your new office location. and
Yeah,
all that
Woodlands
good stuff.
Contest Prep.
Yeah.
We do have an office over in Hughes Landing. It's the 1725, I think, is the address. One of the 2 towers over there on the 11th floor.
Give you a call.
And
before
give
you,
us a
and
call.
then call her afterwards, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Get it all, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really love being a resource for people that
amazing.
come, whether they work with us or not, and just introducing them to people that can really make a difference in their lives. Jen is one of those. Dr. Willie obviously is another one. Cachet has been a great one.
Oh, my Lord.
So
I'm
yeah,
just me.
we have a great community here, and hopefully all you really picked up today was some things that can help you be a better part of that community. Hopefully, that's
Yeah.
and
And I just want to encourage people just not to live in fear right
Yes.
now. I
There you
mean,
go.
and just
You're
know
not.
that there is so much more out there than
Mm-hmm.
just what we're hearing as well. So I mean, just don't live in fear.
one other thing that I wanted to mention: those of you who do have kids, right now worldwide, only 2% of the infected population is children. It's mostly adults. I'm not saying kids can't get it, but for whatever reason, COVID-19 does not affect children near as much as it does adults. So don't worry about your kids so much on this one as worry about your parents and your grandparents. And
The elderly.
yeah, and make sure that you're really looking out for the older folks in your community or those that have issues already with immune issues. And I think you do that, and you're gonna come out a hero for somebody.
You had talked about taking like elderberry. Like, is there anything that would help us?
Yeah, anything, especially when it comes to diet, really lots of fruits and vegetables, things that can improve your immune function, lots of sleep. Make sure that you're not burning the midnight oil. Get to bed and really sleep well. And those are the things you can do most. As far as supplements goes, I suggest Intramax by Drucker Labs, and that's about it. It's a liquid multivitamin I think could help everybody. Anything to add?
That's
I've had a great time today. We missed you, Willie. Hope you get back next week.
Bye.
We'll be here on
Thank you
Thursday
for
at noon.
having me.
Thanks, Jen. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We'll see ya. Bye-bye.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands,